Awareness. In fact, integrity and awareness. These are the most important. May I come in? Please. Good morning. Take a seat, please, Samir.
Thank you, sir.
Do I address you as Samir or as Raja?
Samir.
Samir. And Samir, you're already working, right? Give a brief introduction.
Sir, I'm a graduate in Electronics and Communication Engineering. Currently, I'm working in Indian Civil Account Service.
That's a very brief introduction. A little more.
Sir,
What compelled you to take up the civil services after you have an engineering background?
yes, sir. Sir, it has been a childhood dream of mine to enter into civil services. So I pursued preparing for civil service examination after my graduation. So I come from Andhra Pradesh. Sir.
How many did you get as in the interview last time?
Sir, 151 when I was selected.
And prior to that also you
Yes, sir, I
made it
gave
to the interview?
Yes, sir, I gave interview once.
How many interviews have you given at the UPSC level?
3, sir, until now.
Okay. And what were the marks? 151 in the last one, and before that?
No, sir. My first interview, I got 157. That was my first attempt, and then the year which I got selected, I got 151, and I gave next year as well. I got 143.
Okay. So let's hope that this time you'll do better and get the service of your choice.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So tell me something. What is meant by this three capitals concept, which Andhra Pradesh is pioneering in the country, at least?
Yes, sir. Sir, the idea of the government to bring up the three capitals is they wanted to achieve decentralization of development by decentralizing the administration. So that was the initial goal in mind when the three capitals issue was announced. However, especially after COVID, because of the financial constraints in the state, it has become very difficult to construct all the three capitals right from the scratch, and also the many of the administrative difficulties it poses having capitals in different organs of the state located at different regions. So because of these reasons, the state is reconsidering again. For now, Visakhapatnam has been selected is continuing as the executive capital, and the matter is also sub judice right now in the Supreme Court.
Right. Your father's in the railways.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, what is the concept of a bullet train? Why is it so named? Is it because it's as fast as a bullet?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware of this speeds of the bullet as well as the bullet train, but the high speed rail, which is in common parlance it is called as bullet train. High speed rail is which offers speeds in the range of more than 300 kilometers per hour. So it reduces the time required for transport between 2 points. That is very much essential for development.
So let me bring you up to speed.
Sir,
a bullet train is so named because of the shape of the nose, not because of the speed.
Thank you, sir.
My final question, I give it to you as a school of thought that we need a civil service made up of specialists, not generalists. Do you agree?
Sir, I agree with the concept. However, it cannot be that we need specialists right from the beginning, because these days to make a policy in any region, because any sector does not work in silos. We need knowledge from all the sectors. So in the beginning of the career, civil servants need to start as generalists so that they gain enough experience, and when they progress through their career, they can acquire expertise in the area of their choice, so that that will help.
Domain knowledge,
yes, sir,
as it's called, right?
Yes, sir.
In jargon, in the civil service jargon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Samir, the civil services, nowadays you get into the service and a time-bound promotion is there. They say it is merit come seniority, but it is generally anyone who gets into the service reaches almost the highest level. So, but unlike, we have a different system in army. There's a tapering off. The good people only reach to the top. So what is your idea if we do the same thing in the civil services?
Sir, definitely any promotion, it should be based on the merit. That will give incentives to the people who work hard, and also disincentivize the inefficiency in the system. However, the measurements which we adopt for analyzing this should be transparent, and they should be quantitative as well, because they cannot be left to the judgment of the seniors, or it should be somewhat quantitative measurement where which we can adopt.
So what is the system we are following right now?
Sir, we have annual confidential reports as well as annual performance appraisal reviews. So we Sir, 360-degree appraisal is when you get the assessment of the person from all the stakeholders involved, not just from the superiors. So it involves the feedback from the colleagues, it involves feedback from the subordinates as well. So that is the 360-degree feedback.
Is it a very transparent system which we are following right now in the government of India?
Sir, the current system, which is the APARS, it is not very transparent. It is not very transparent in the sense that we currently only the reviewing authority and the reporting authority only write about the civil servant. It does not include the 360 feedback as of now, sir.
No, yeah, losing it. Parallels, yeah, losing it. Yeah,
Sir.
Okay, now tell me, you were from NIT Warangal. Okay, so what is the system of admission in the NITs? Is there a quota for the people from the same state, or is it open to everyone?
Sir, in any National Institute of Technology, 50% of the seats are reserved for the people from the state, and 50% is open for all.
And yours is which engineering you have done?
Sir, electronics and communication.
Ah, electronics and communications. Okay. So now tell me, the civil aviation sector, what all good things are being done in civil?
Sir, recently the initiative of disinvestment of Air India, which has been pending for a long.
Yes, that is one.
Yes, sir.
Just give me bullet points. I don't want a.
Sir. And then giving priority to MRO sector, which is maintenance, repair, and overhaul. Developing our airports as the MRO hubs, so that the business from the Southeast Asia, it is rerouted to India. That is one of the initiatives. And also to connect the far off unconnected regions in the country, the policy of the government. So that is one important change.
Okay, now tell me, how will you reduce the inefficiency of a government department? There's a general aspersion, general image is that the government people are, any department you take of any government, a very lot of red tape is there. So how do you take care of that?
Sir, to reduce the inefficiencies of any government, first I need to understand the processes involved in that particular department, and also analyze whether the inefficiencies are coming from the people or from the process. So after that analysis, I will strive to improve the process which are involved, and if the inefficiencies are because of the people, then the people need to be provided with sufficient incentives or motivation to improve their efficiency. So this is how I would.
Okay, my last question to you: how will you define corruption, and what are the agencies to check corruption in India?
Sir, corruption is any situation where a civil servant or anyone who will gain financially or non-financially, going beyond their means, going beyond which is allotted to them. So that is corruption. And in India currently, at the highest level, we have Lokpal, and under it the various investigating agencies such as Central Bureau of Investigation and anti-corruption bureaus in various states. And we have legislation in the form of Prevention of Corruption Act 1988.
You mean to say that CBI comes under Lokpal?
Sir, Lokpal can allot the investigating function to CBI, sir.
So that way, even the High Court or Supreme Court can also allot. So is that a agency for corruption, anti-corruption? If I say so, High Court. What about CVC? What does the CVC do?
Sir, Central Vigilance Commission has the mandate of identifying and reducing the corruption within the government. So it can handle cases with respect to civil servants.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Samir, uh, you have taken this interview 3 times,
Sir.
and your performance has been a kind of average 151, 57, 40 something. What are the reasons, in your opinion, that you have not been able to improve? Have you deciphered something?
Yes, sir. The interviews which were mainly before my selection in the UPSC, I was quite nervous in those interviews and I was not able to speak at all. The way which I am doing it right now. I had thoughts in my mind, but I could not put them across to the board. And
But then what about the last time? Last performance was lower than the previous two. Why?
sir, I'm not able to understand the specific reason.
Probably we'll tell you at the end of your interview.
Yes.
Um, Sir has spoken about improving efficiency of the system in the government departments and ministries. I'd like to probe you on this little more. When you said system needs to be studied, whether the process or the people, what is the role of the leadership? Unless the leaders show the way to the juniors, it will be very difficult to change things. And this is something which we can speak with experience. In a way, we all have seen that general level of integrity in every form of society has been coming down, whether it's government service, business, or wherever. General level of integrity has been coming down. Much more instances of corruption and things like that have been coming to light. What is the reason, in your opinion?
I agree that instances of corruption, they are visible right now across so many sectors. However, I also feel that it is the reason mainly for it is that the values which we attach to the corruption or the people who are associated with the corruption, maybe that is one of the reasons because the corruption is on the rise. And the values which we attach to for example material values. However, I feel that this is a passing phase and we should be able to overcome.
Okay, let's move on to something different. What do you understand by Troika in the G20?
Sir, the G20 Troika is the group of 3 presidents, which include the previous president, current president, and also the upcoming president.
Who are those?
Sir, currently the Troika comprises of Indonesia, India, and Brazil.
What is the significance of SARC in the framework of Southeast Asian or our neighborhood policy?
Sir, the significance of SARC is that it offers a platform for cooperation among the India and its neighborhood in the Southeast Asian region. However, because of the role of Pakistan, we have not been able to take forward the cooperation in the SARC. So the government has started exploring other options, for example, BIMSTEC.
So should we say that the SARC is dead?
Sir, the activities of SARC currently they are on limbo, and we need to make an effort to bring it back to revive it. So that we need to have diplomatic efforts to engage the neighbors.
Thank you.
Samir, there was something in the UK, at the Indian High Commission in UK. What was the incident and what is it all about? And what happened? What is the fallout of all that?
Ma'am, in United Kingdom, our High Commission has been under attack by separatists, by the people who have the goal of separatist Sikh region in the country, and our Indian flag has been brought down. So Indian government has protested in very strong terms with the UK government to not repeat such incidents and offer security to us. And the background of it is the situation which is currently happening in Punjab.
What is the situation in Punjab?
Ma'am, currently a leader with the name of Amritpal Singh has
Call him a leader.
okay.
All right.
A person with the name of Amritpal Singh,
So-called leader.
so-called leader, yes, ma'am. Heading the organization of Waris Punjab Day, he has been espousing sentiments of separatism, and the government of Punjab, along with Indian government, has initiated the search operations in order to capture him and nab him.
And then what was also the outcome? There was another demonstration yesterday. So was it the same as the other day? What happened? What is the difference between yesterday's protest at the Indian High Commission and on Sunday's protest against the Indian High Commission?
Pardon, ma'am, I'm not.
No, they attacked on Sunday when they brought down the flag. And again, yesterday or day before, I think there was again another demonstration in UK against the Indian High Commission. So what happened then? Are you aware?
No, ma'am.
You're not. Okay. You are working in the Ministry of Commerce, is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Which area are you looking after that?
Ma'am, I'm part of accounting department of the Ministry of Commerce, which comes under Chief Controller of Accounts.
Under the Chief Controller of Accounts. Are you aware of ease of doing business or any what are the where is India's ranking and what can we do to improve and attract more FDI into the country? And why is it not coming to at the level that we should be getting?
Ma'am, in terms of ease of doing business rankings, over the past 5 years, we have improved from more than 100 to less than 60 in the global rankings. And India's FDI around $80 billion. It has been one of the highest in the world. However, it is not commensurate with the potential of India. So there are various reasons for it. The current slowdown in the global economy is also one of the contributing factors for not attracting FDI. Because of the rise of interest rates globally, there has been an outflow of funds from the country instead of the FDI inflow. However, India still remains an attractive destination for many of the investors worldwide.
So are they coming in, you think?
Yes, ma'am.
The big ones or the small ones or the middle ones who are coming in? Any idea? You're saying it's very attractive still. So to whom are the big ones come?
With the policies of government like production linked incentive schemes, etc. So the government has been trying to attract investments into the country.
And so India's sort of dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat and also being a kind of China plus one, you can call it, or having a supply chain, providing supply chain resilience. You think that will be possible to fulfill in the near future, or it will take some more time?
It will take time, but however, it is definitely in the process, especially because after the disruption of global supply chains after COVID pandemic, many countries have been looking to come out of China, and they call this strategy as friend shoring. And for this strategy, India is likely to be the most important destination for those countries. But
it's not happening. What do you think is holding them back? You have any idea what's holding them back? How are we very investor friendly overall? Our policies, India's policies, they have improved a lot, of course, in the last few years. But are we still at the same level? Like people are saying we'd rather go to Cambodia maybe, or other countries, Vietnam, Thailand. So why are they? What is one of the reasons you think which prevents or hampers this? Unlike, of course, in Andhra and Telangana and in Karnataka, where it has been quite good, but not so good in the rest of the country. And in specific niche sectors, not across the board again. Yeah.
Ma'am, I think infrastructure or the lack of it is one of the major reasons which is maybe hampering the investment prospects of certain regions in the country, and the government has realized this and started focusing on it in terms of various initiatives like Gati Shakti or National Infrastructure Pipeline. So and also in the recent budget, government has allocated almost 33% of the budget to the capital expenditure. So based on all these initiatives, I think it is a definitely a good prospects for in investment in
Labor laws?
Yes, ma'am. There needs to be reforms in labor laws as well. Government has brought in labor codes, however, they are yet to be implemented.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Samir, you are from Kurnool,
Yes, sir.
and Kurnool is the judicial capital,
Yes, sir.
planned to be judicial capital. Currently, where is the High Court located?
Sir, it is in Amravati.
Amravati. So there is multiple times growing, say, differences between the High Court and the current ruling government. So how do you observe that issue? Is it judicial activism or judicial encroachment? Or overreach? So how do you look at it?
Sir, only with respect to the issues of Andhra Pradesh High Court and Andhra Pradesh government, in certain instances, it has been observed that it is judicial overreach on part of the High Court. Especially, for example, recently when the court ordered the government to develop the capital of Amaravati within 6 months. So, which the decision which was eventually put a stay by the Supreme Court as well. So, such instances can be avoided. However, there should be a cooperation between the various organs of the state in order to ensure smooth function.
What's the court's judgment on the capital city? 3 state capital? Three capital.
Sir, the High Court it asked the state government to develop the capital in the Amaravati itself, because 33,000 acres of the Amaravati region have already been collected by the state government, and it also nullified the law which has been brought by the state, which is Andhra Pradesh Three Capitals and Inclusive Development Act 2020.
So constitutionally, which is the right organization to decide or organ to decide the capital city of a state?
Sir, it is the executive which needs to decide where the functioning of the capitals should happen. It is ultimately the state government which should decide.
Executive or legislature?
Sir, it is executive which should decide.
You are into accounts, right? So what is the mandate of CGA, Controller General of Accounts?
Sir, the mandate of Controller General of Accounts is to act as accounting advisory of the Government of India, according to Article 151, where the form of accounts has to be maintained by President on the advice of CAG. CGA will advise the form of accounts which need to be kept, and also it submits the annual accounts in the form of appropriation accounts and finance accounts, which will be eventually laid by the president in the parliament.
So currently, recent GDP figures has put show that there is a slowdown. So overall, if you observe last year, this year, and the projections, which phase of business cycle are we into? Are we in the growth phase or stagnant phase or in the kind of recessionary phase?
Sir, immediately after pandemic, we grew for a certain time. However, especially since last quarter, we have been in the slowdown phase. If we observe the last quarter's growth rate, it is 4.4% in our country, and also the exports from India have been falling continuously for the past 2 months. So they are not the signals of growth; they are definitely signals of slowdown. And also there are reports from RBI as well as NSO that our growth rate in the upcoming financial year would be less than what this financial year is.
So you are saying that there is a growth, significant growth immediately after the pandemic.
Yes.
What was the reason?
So the main reason is the suppressed demand during the COVID pandemic, which was which was removed, I mean, which got pushed immediately after the pandemic. So that was the main reason for the growth immediately after pandemic.
So have you heard of something called base effect? Okay. So and with respect to your education background, electronics and communication engineering, right? Why the government of late in the policy with respect to electronic cluster developments, it is putting MSMEs at the core of the development. What's the reason for that?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware of.
Okay. So what is the status of electronic sector in India?
Sir, electronic sector, government has brought in National Electronics Policy 2020, and also government is in favor of developing major electronics manufacturing industries in India. For example, government is also targeting the setting up of fabrication units for manufacturing chips. So we already have investments in the form of Foxconn Vedanta venture in Gujarat. So this is the policy of government.
Okay. So what is the difference between 4G and 5G? Key difference, that generational shift.
Sir, 4G and 5G are the various technologies of mobile technology. The main differences in come in terms of speed and also the latency, and also the applications. So these are the main areas where there is a difference between 4G and 5G. For example, the 5G offers speeds in the range of 1 Gbps, and also the latency. Latency is the time taken that will be very less than 10 milliseconds for 5G. And also with the coming of 5G, a lot of applications, especially mission critical applications, they will be offered an opportunity with 5G.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
So that brings us to the end of our formal interaction. Huh?
Sir.
Actually, I'm quite mystified how you got such low marks, because you're definitely way above that in your presentation today, at least. Huh? One thing I would strongly urge, that your hair should be neatly combed.
Yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
Because grooming is very important. Also, completely clean shaven.
Yes, sir.
Your first appearance should be the best appearance. When is your interview?
Sir, April 13th.
April 13th. After having appeared thrice before the interview board, I think you're more qualified to tell us rather than the reverse. Anyway, just to give you an idea what the panel is looking for,
Yes, sir.
it's not a test of knowledge. You know that already. It's a test of your officer-like abilities. And let me take them off for you. Integrity, awareness of self, district, nation, state, nation, world.
Yes, sir.
Poise and self-confidence, conceptual clarity, lucidity of expression, and balanced opinion.
Yes, sir.
Right? So all these go into the mix. And the good news is that you tick off practically all the boxes. You are able to respond to all the questions in a very measured fashion, which is very good. Right? So I think this time you should go there. Basically, what is happening? I'll tell you. In my assessment, I'm an amateur psychologist. Your mind goes blank. It freezes because of the anxiety. Is that right?
It is, sir.
Yes, that's it. There's no need to be nervous, or there's no need to be tense. There's no need to be for your mind to be so anxious. You know, a candidate sends non-verbal cues to the panel. If you go there with a happy outlook, relaxed mind, then that communicates. And that gives, that results in a much better interaction, and it results in much higher marks. So you need, because you have all the bases covered, so all you need to work is the mental aspect. That is all.
Yes, sir.
go there with that attitude. I'm going to ace this interview. I mean, it's my haath ka khel hai. I've been there thrice. I know what it's all about. They can't phase me. I've got everything needed to be a first-rate officer.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Best of luck.
So if you permit me, I'd like to
Please.
add a little bit. What I understood from your this whole half an hour of interview is that I would say all your answers were absolutely up to the mark, but it left us sense that there is a little, what should I say, self-analysis, or put it another way, introspection, uh, was to me lacking. And my advice to you would be, on any subject in your preparation time, close your eyes, take deep breathings, and then think of that question, that answer that you want to give. That will improve the poise that sir has been speaking about, and it will also help you in self introspection on the situation, on the question, on things around you. That poise, that self introspection, that kind of concentration, meditation will help you a lot. Practice this in the next 10 days, 10, 12 days. Okay? All the best to you.
Thank you so much.
All the best. Smile to yourself and go in and say, I'll do it. Yeah? Okay.
All the best, sir.
All the best.
And get that hair in order.
Sure.
Okay.